The RAD Live podcast is intended for mature audiences and contains explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi and welcome to this week's edition of the RAD Live podcast, Random Ass Discussion. I am your host, Paul, the Hat Guy Flinders, and joining me this week we have the lost one himself, Adam Cox. Evening. Is someone still adjusting?
It's not me.
Is it playing up? Something's gone wrong. What a start. It was working fine for a whole 20 minutes before. Oh dear. The snigger you can hear in the background is the Scouse one himself, Lewis Ogden.
Howdy, howdy.
How do?
Now they'll just scarred you all for the evening.
The accent's not that bad, come on. You're South
well.
wrong.
Exactly.
It's not like half my family where it's all literally dead thick Scouse accents. So, exactly. I've immersed myself into it, so I kind of understand what people are saying now.
Well, fair enough.
You know, it's acclimatisation and all that shite, so...
Oh, yeah.
As we speak now, the weather warning has hit. It's now pissing it down, because we did have a yellow weather warning for rain and flooding and property damage in Blackpool. 4 o'clock. It's now 8 o'clock and it's just arrived.
We had thunder, lightning, and pissing it down with rain for about 5. And as Peter Kay would say, it's spitting!
Is it spitting?
It's trying to spit. It's spitting, I think.
You got rain, and then you got rain. This is proper
Got rain, and you got rain. And then you got rain.
And you've got that
fine
rain that soaks you through.
Yeah, I was about to say. You beat me to it.
But yeah, the missus is currently just running outside now and covering the rabbit up before it gets drowned.
I thought you were going to say she's going to get the washing in off the line. I was just like, go and help her, you lazy twat.
This is just like, oh no, you're wet.
Give me an hand, will you? No, why should I? I'll get wet.
Leave me be. But yeah, I don't know if Coxie's got his microphone working yet.
I'm working. It was Owen. Lewis that would move us around. I don't know who Owen is.
Owen. Who's Owen?
I don't know.
I didn't do nothing. I can hear you perfectly fine. Thank you very much.
Just really cats and dogs. That's what it is. It was the rain. The rain knocked Lewis's mic over.
Oh yeah, of course. Blame the Scouse one.
Yeah,
it's like when Al's like, "Yeah, I've got headphones on." It's like, "Well, Al, you're giving us feedback, right?" But I've got headphones on. You haven't, because your missus can hear what we're saying.
Yeah, he's shouting over you to correct what we're saying, and not only that, on Skype, your picture is lighting up when somebody else talks. Gee, I wonder if there's an echo.
Got headphones in, don't worry.
Jesus Christ. Love you, Alan. But yeah, we'll start with Lewis, because normally you get asked last, don't you? What have you been up to this week? Well, since WrestleMania, really.
Ooh, in terms of...
Oh, WrestleMania.
I actually very much appreciated that at the end of the Lost Art predictions, because it actually got me like really hyped for Mania. Yeah, since we did the Mania prediction show, I've been working. Obviously, I was at Clan Morrison for WrestleMania and the NXT beforehand. I had a pretty good time. Been going back to the gym.
You went to the gym?
been attempting to go back to the gym in my spare time when I'm outside of work. Also been cutting down on just sort of like shitty food, really. Just sort of sticking to me sort of like home cooked meals.
Oh, yeah.
Been doing that for nearly 2 weeks now, and I'm about 4.5 pounds better off. So
Nice.
seems to be working.
Little bit of a life hack for you in regards to the food. Have you ever heard of something called mushy pea curry?
Yes.
Have you tried it?
No.
It's fucking amazing. Look up if you look it up the recipe on Google. It's a Slimming World sort of recipe sort of thing, because the missus uses it. It's fucking lovely. And yeah, just it's just party. If you've got a blender, you're laughing, basically. Yeah. So yeah, get it done. Just get a couple of a few tins of beer. I don't know why it's called mushy pea curry, because it's literally like one of like a million different parts of the recipe. But yeah, massively so. Give it a try. It's fucking lovely. It sounds minging when you say mushy pea curry. It just literally makes the base. You flavour it, and it doesn't even taste like mushy peas. So yeah, and it's all Slimming World free as well. So with your rice and all that, if you have fresh chicken or out like that, you chuck that in. And if you were on Slimming World, you could have as much of it as you want because it's fucking free. So
that's interesting.
Go for it. You can make it as hot or as mild as you want as well. So fucking really, really good sort of recipe. It's pretty much one of our staples now.
Cool, yeah.
Even when the missus is doing Slimming World or not doing Slimming World, we just have it now because we enjoy it. So it's one of those.
Fair enough. Yeah, seeing friends and family just outside of work. It's basically like if I'm not in work, I'm seeing friends and family. If I'm in work, I'm just sort of binge watching stuff on Netflix and stuff like that. Oh, big update on sort of like my next Netflix. Easy for me to say. Netflix viewing.
Oh, yes.
Finally finished Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Oh, yeah.
And 7 long seasons of like 25 episodes a season worth.
That's like me watching Naruto.
Yeah. So I finally gotten through that. I've now moved on to The Expanse, which is another sort of like sci-fi space adventure Netflix series that Mr. Morrison recommended. I'm balancing that with also trying to finish off Cowboy Bebop, which is a famous anime. So I'm sort of like alternating between the 2 seasons until I get it done.
Oh, fair.
And then I might move on to something else. And the only other thing I can think of is that a few weeks ago I got Far Cry 5 for my PS4, and it's fucking mental.
See, I've seen adverts for it, and I'm really tempted because I like sort of like the free roam sort of games. And like I said on the last podcast, I've been playing Skyrim, so it's you sort of you free roam, you do your own shit. That sort of thing does appeal to me. Now, I did play one of the Far Cry's. I can't remember which one. It was an early one though. It was on the 360 years ago, and for some reason, I didn't get into it. I didn't connect with the game. I sort of just was like, it's okay. But it's not for me, so I ended up leaving it and put it on the wayside. It's gathered dust for like 6 years or 7 years, something like that. I've never picked it up. But this one looks really, really intriguing. So I might one day pick it up.
It's literally a game where the story of the game isn't really much to shout about. It's literally a case of you'll encounter sort of like a checkpoint, you'll destroy everybody there. Sort of like go down a little bit more. There's like a hostage situation. Deal with that. Then there's like an outpost that needs liberating and stuff like that. It's literally one of those games where there's always something going on.
Yeah, it's a bit like Skyrim in that respect. Then there's always
a little bit.
Yeah, that's right up my boat. That on my street. Yeah, I'll have a look see at that.
So I've really enjoyed that. Also. On WrestleMania evening, myself and our good buddy Matt completely blitzed through A Way Out, which is the cooperative prison break game that's, I think it's just PS4.
I believe it's an exclusive, yeah.
It's a PS4 exclusive. It's done by the same studio that did, I think it's Brotherhood: A Tale of Two Sons.
So they'll know how to do co-op shit.
Yeah, well, they know how to do co-op shit, and they know how to like tell a really good sort of like story. So we blitzed through that like literally from about 6 in the evening up until sort of like when the WrestleMania pre-show was really kicking off. If you've got somebody that you can play with, there's one of the good things about the game is that only one of you has to buy the game, and then the other one can just sort of like download the well, they say it's like the trial, but then you just basically that's you all sorted then. Pretty sure the game,
play, isn't it? The
yeah,
try to implement, but barely anyone fucking uses.
It's
a good way of getting people to use it.
Well, yeah, it's a good concept. Game's only £25. It's a short game.
Budget game.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's as I say, me and Matt, we blitzed through it in probably just over 4 hours, so it's not especially long, but it's I have to say that all three of us, and including Morrison in it because he was spectating the entire game, we enjoyed it very much. Specifically liked the hospital scene because it's literally done in sort of like one big camera transition shot.
Oh, so it's a bit like Hard Boiled then when they do the shooting scene, which is only one shot.
A little bit, yeah. Like if you if you ever sort of like search up on YouTube, I'll see if I can find a link during like our sort of like little ad break. Yes. It's literally just a case of like one of your characters will be sort of like on the upper floor getting chased. Then what's quite clever is it'll either sort of like pan out, so you get like a little shot of the building, go down a couple of levels and zoom back into where sort of like your other character is. Yeah. And then keeps it going from then. Or it can also do sort of like camera transitions through sort of like different doorways, or maybe even sort of like air conditioning systems or stuff like that. It's really, really cool.
Oh, okay.
Really cool looking. I recommend anybody who's sort of like into sort of like playing the co-op game. I definitely recommend it because it's my favourite game of the year so far.
Oh, I think of it well. I do like co-op games more than competitive games. I've never been one of these ones that can go, right, let's play Call of Duty all day.
Oh, no.
Shoot people. I just find that boring.
Yeah.
I like the teamwork aspect sort of thing. Like even like how I bumped into Xander. End of the day, we used to when we first started talking and what have you, we sort of had like a clan that I joined, and we did like oval racing. We used to bump draft each other to get around the track quicker, and beat other people online doing that. And it was even in a game where it's supposed to be competitive, I liked working together. I've never been one of these really competitive games. I'm just one of these games that likes to chill out. With the exception of motor racing, where I like to be as quick as I possibly fucking can.
Yeah.
But I'm not one of these online shooter kind of guys. I mean, I used to be. I used to play Counter-Strike a lot on the PC.
Oh yeah.
But I never got into this Call of Duty and all that lot. But it's just one of them. So yeah, Coxie.
Hello.
I think he's not snoring. What have you been up to, fella?
Post-Mania, I went to sleep. I woke up after about 5 or 6 hours, still knackered, going, what did I just watch? Because again, it was not a great Mania. Though I'll say it's probably a more surprising Mania, if anything.
Yeah. Do you know what? No, actually, no. You finish off what you were doing, and then what you're talking about, what you've been up to, and what have you, and then we'll duck straight back into that.
Well, to a gig last week. I saw Frank Turner in Manchester and managed to get stranded in Manchester till 5 a.m.
Nice.
Even though we were told it was 24 hours.
Oh dear.
And Google Maps said it was 24 hours, and then we missed a sign saying closes at midnight and opens at 5 a.m. So I had to stick around until 5 a.m. to get the car out.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was off the day after, but it's my friend's surprise birthday meal.
Oh, you were dead. You were dead.
Yeah, this was at like half. If it was like later on, I wouldn't have minded. I could have just like gone and slept through. I'd have been fine. But I ended up getting about 4 hours sleep, then going to this bloody meal, getting home, having like another hour, and I went to bed at like 10 o'clock. So I was up day, but I went to bed at 10. Pretty much got into bed, fell straight asleep, and woke up. My alarm went off at like 7:15 for work, and I was like, shit, I feel refreshed as fuck.
Definitely needed that sleep then. It's either that or you've been running on empty for God knows how long, and that sleep just fucking, it feels like, oh sweet Jesus afterwards. We've all been there. We all know how that feels. All wrestling fans who come from the UK know how that feels the day after.
Oh yeah.
Unless you stay up and watch the Raw after as well, but.
And NXT beforehand.
Yeah, and NXT. Oh shit, that was. We'll go back. We'll bounce straight back into that. I mean, that was one heavy weekend of wrestling that we got through. Obviously, I was thinking, obviously, as a topic which we could talk about now was obviously we if you listen to the Lost Art of Wrestling alternative commentary, all 7 hours of it, which was awesome, might add. You obviously got mine, Bunkle's, and Cox's thoughts on the matches at the time. Now, what I was thinking is, now we've had time to reflect on what we've seen at WrestleMania and what seems to have transpired since. What are your thoughts on the Mania, and will it be considered one of the better ones or one of the worst Manias that's really sort of like existed?
It's like asking how long's a piece of string. I will say about my Mania weekend, I'd immediately finished work on the Saturday, so doing like a 12-hour shift, going straight from Liverpool to Clan Morrison's. I'd had about sort of like 3 energy drinks in my system, and I still couldn't stay awake for the entirety of TakeOver. I was sort of nodding off a little bit at the ladder match. Managed to wake myself up for the women's match and the tag team title match, and then literally as the promo packages were playing for Almas and Aleister Black, I was literally a case of, right, I'm going to go to bed because I'll just catch up in the morning.
You did the same as me. I mean, I tried to stay up for it, as I was telling Coxie, I was body clocking for the WrestleMania show, but I failed fucking miserably. I was awake. I stayed awake, I'll be honest with you. I stayed awake until the entrance of the Aleister Black Almas match, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to tap out here. I'm going to watch the rest of it in the morning, because I knew for a fact that the Almas Black match was going to be fucking amazing, and the Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano match was going to be a fucking 5-star. So I knew for a fact it would be only fair, instead of fighting my sleep and trying to watch this at the same time, is give it my full attention when I'm rested.
Yeah.
So that is what I did, and I'm so glad I did. Those two matches deserved it. I mean, I watched the Gargano Ciampa match, and bearing in mind, I've got a little girl as we adopted sort of thing.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like wrestling that much. She came to a PCW show once and basically hid when T-Bone tried to give her a high five. To be fair, I would if I didn't know T-Bone. But she sat there and I'm just going to put this on, and then I said to her, I'll put this on and you can put whatever you want on, because I wanted to watch this before I went to Cox's that day to do obviously the WrestleMania show. And she sat there and did not move. She watched every single second of that match and thoroughly enjoyed it. Absolutely enjoyed it.
What I love to hear, just sort of like kids sitting in silence, enthralled by something that they're not really, don't have that much of an interest in, and for it to be sort of like a match of such high quality as well is sort of restores my faith in humanity quite a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she said it was actually obviously she's at that age where she's not going to admit she enjoys something, but she said it was all right. which means in her translation is I actually quite enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But she's more of like the female wrestler sort of like fan. If she watches it or catches it a bit here and there, she watches it for the women. It's fair, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she enjoyed it. So that just shows you how good that fucking match was. You know, it was great.
I'd also like to make special mention to the opener, the six-man ladder match. I went back and watched that a couple of days ago. I've not had a chance to go back and watch the Gargano Ciampa match yet. But fuck me, that ladder match was absolutely insane.
Yeah, I take
insane.
Back about 90% of the stuff I said about Ricochet. When you got two flippy guys flipping around just for the fuck of it in a singles match, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Absolutely stupid. But in a match like that, a ladder match, for a new title, which for the record gave that title so much prestige, everyone was busting their balls for that match. Built that title up brilliantly, I thought, as a good foundation. You've got obviously the different types of guys in the ring. You've got like Lars Sullivan, who's a big fucking monster guy that would fit in any wrestling era, basically, because he's just a fucking freak, basically.
Well, I like to think of Lars Sullivan as being what Braun Strowman would have been had he been in NXT instead of going straight to the main roster.
Absolutely. You know, obviously, you had the EC3, who was just the stereotypical Blair heel.
Yeah.
And you got Velveteen Dream, who's just a fucking star, downright star. And everyone else in that match, all different types of wrestlers. You had one flippy guy in that match, and it worked because he wasn't oversaturated by it.
That's one of the good things of sort of like multi-man ladder matches. Is there's always room for a sort of like a Ricochet character.
Yeah.
But sort of like it would be overkill if there was too many of them.
Yeah.
But just sort of like the fact that it was just Ricochet on his own, and the fact that he could do, the spots that he did, just sort of it nicely complemented the match.
Absolutely. I mean, the perfect example of that match where you got too much is too much, and it's a negative. Is that match from Wrestle Kingdom? Mm-hmm. It was just ridiculous how much flipping shit went on, and it wasn't needed. I mean, Coxie, what did you think of NXT TakeOver in general?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good show. My only downside with it was that I pretty much called and correctly predicted 3 of the matches out of the 5.
That was half. I was saying that was only a 5-card match, wasn't it? 5-match card, wasn't it? So, yeah, fair play.
Yeah, it was the. I mean, the side show was still good, but it was one of them. It was a bit like NXT TakeOver seemed semi-predictable, whereas Mania didn't for me. Like it almost was going to be predictable, but it wasn't.
Well, we'll get onto that later. But yeah, overall, I thought NXT was easily show of the fucking weekend. Really, that's if you're not including the indie shit, which Cox is sin. You got Janela's spring break and all that, which is supposed to be fucking phenomenal, which I haven't seen yet. Sorry.
Yeah, or Spring Break 2 and
Bloodsport.
Both sort of show. I still got the Con Super Show to watch yet as well. I've not managed to, but it's like that thing as well, trying to cram so much wrestling into one weekend.
It's fucking hard. It's really hard. It's like trying to eat all your Christmas chocolate in one day as a kid. It ain't happening. And if you do, you're going to be sick.
We watched essentially one Mania a week in the build-up to.
Yeah.
And Bloodsport on a Saturday, followed by TakeOver. And then I watched Joe Janela Spring Break 2, followed by the pre-show and WrestleMania itself.
Yeah, you basically you must have burnt yourself out of wrestling.
A little bit.
You get oversaturated. It starts to cool down a bit now. It's not too bad. They've milked it for 2 weeks, so you obviously had the NXT call-ups and things like that for the Raw after. And then you had the Superstar shake-up. So they've milked the reaction and the excitement for 2 weeks. So, it's one of those. As for WrestleMania, I mean, in hindsight, obviously looking back, when I watched WrestleMania, I really shit on this, especially the second half of the show. Now, I'm interested to know Lewis's thoughts on it because we've not heard Lewis's side of it yet. Lewis, what did you think of the actual WrestleMania show itself?
I think, well, with regards to, I don't know why I'm bringing up the pre-show, but
Pre-show counts.
Yeah, pre-show counts. Thought both battle royals were just there, as the ones to be.
I mean, with the battle royals, they are what they are. You're not going to get, stupid spots in it. There's not enough room, so it's just one of those.
Yeah, I enjoyed Alexander and Mustafa Ali.
Oh God, did we?
It was a decent little match.
I love the entrance more than anything.
Yeah, I love the Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat entrance for Mustafa. Basically, the first 2.5 hours of Mania, if you discount the United States title match, which I'd also like to do my best impression of Crichton from Red Dwarf and go into smug mode and say, I told you they wouldn't hinder Jinder at Mania.
But they hindered him at Raw.
Well, they just hindered. Yeah, exactly. But it's the prediction that counted.
True.
So yeah, if you take out that US title match and the fact that, although I didn't really agree with Charlotte ending Asuka's undefeated streak,
boo.
The match itself was really fucking good.
It was a great story.
Told a really good story. What was the opener? I forget what the fuck
for the main show. God, it was fucking good.
Honestly, I can't remember.
I'm going to look at my card because I've got it written down still. It's in my book. It wasn't in order, was it? It was The Miz, Seth Rollins, and Finn Balor.
Ah, yes. Yeah, that was a decent little opener. Yeah, Charlotte Asuka was fucking great. United States title match was just short of there. Can I just say, Ronda Rousey. Wow.
Pleasantly surprised.
I went in under the impression that, okay, Ronda's going to do, sort of like a little bit, but she's not going to be pushed. There's not going to be sort of like too much to go about. But Jesus Christ, when she did the fucking roll through John Cena, like, herking up Triple H, who isn't a small guy, you've got to remember.
Yeah.
When she herked him up into that Samoan drop position, I was like, holy fuck. I mean, like, the start, not only did Ronda do a really good fucking job, but also, I don't give her too much credit because I fucking hate her guts, but Stephanie McMahon was really good in that match as well. If anything, the women overshadowed the men.
Well, the quality of the matches were. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100% can't fault it on that.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly turned up to work, let's just put it that way.
Absolutely. And, they've got a star on their hands. They just need to book her correctly.
This is it. I don't think, obviously, the women's division has not been this stacked with talent since whatever. You mean even in the heightened days of the Attitude Era when you had, what was it, Trish Stratus, Lita?
Even then, there was probably only 3 at best that were
one time.
Yeah,
But now,
Exactly.
fucking look right across the board. It's fucking stacked with talent.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely jam-packed with talent. And it's
to quote Lewis when he was doing his best Triple H impression, well, Stephen.
Well, basically, I think I got my ass kicked by a woman.
You sound like Shuey Griffin.
Oh no, I'm chopping and changing in between. If you want to know what my Stewie Griffin impression, this is what my Stewie Griffin impression sounds like. You bastard. So yeah, really enjoyed that match. Then the show went downhill.
Oh, did it jump off a fucking cliff?
Oh yes.
Oh, did it jump off a cliff?
Bludgeon Brothers winning the SmackDown tag titles I liked.
No.
Why?
No.
Paul wanted the Usos to get their mania moment, even though they don't.
What fucking the Young Bucks 2.0? Jesus H. Fucking Christ. We'll get onto like New Japan stuff in a little bit, but Jesus Christ, you know, people give out to the Young Bucks about throwing too many super kicks. I'm sorry, but fucking the Usos have so passed them by. They must have thrown about like 15 super kicks. Bear in mind, this match was like less than 6 minutes.
Yeah, it was.
It's like, Jesus Christ, have you not got sort of like any other kick that you can throw?
This is it. I mean, I think the Usos, in this gimmick, they're actually watchable. They are watchable. I mean, in the old gimmick, I was just like, no.
They are watchable, but, you know, the Young Bucks have learned you don't need to throw 50 fucking super kicks every single match.
This is it. I mean,
but, you know,
they are super kick crazy. So.
Oh, absolutely. I loved Elias trolling the entire Mania crowd. I'll just basically say this. I've completely turned the corner on Elias. I thought, like, with his appearance at Mania and the Raw after Mania, he's in my boy stable now. He is in my boy stable. I love Elias. Undertaker Cena, whatever. It's literally a case of I don't want to see the Undertaker anymore. And I wasn't expecting like a 20-30 minute fucking classic, but Jesus Christ, Taker jobbed him out in less than 3 minutes.
Wow.
Like for them to do that, it's just sort of like they're either going for shock value or Taker is a broken down piece of fucking meat.
I'd rather go with the latter. I genuinely do.
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah. So, but what I want to talk about mostly is this last hour and a half of the show.
Oh, fucking hell, I'm getting onto it. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Why the fuck was Shane McMahon being worked on for 10 fucking minutes? They powerbombed Daniel Bryan on the apron and the crowd died.
Yeah.
They died. And then Owens and Zayn just kept beating on Shane, and they beat on him, and they beat on him, and they fucking beat on him. And it seemed to go on for fucking half an hour. And then finally Bryan got the tag, and it was just sort of like, oh, finally. Yeah. Yes.
We got what we wanted.
Why couldn't you just pin in the match to begin with? Fucking hate Shane McMahon, and he fucking potatoes everybody as well. Like seriously, like
the worst work punches in the business.
What's the best thing that you can do with Shane McMahon? Just sort of like take him out of the game early. He's got a fucking hernia. When Roman Reigns got a hernia, he had to go and get surgery and was off TV for freaking 3 months.
There you go.
Shane McMahon gets his ass handed to him for 10 minutes in the main event in a match at WrestleMania. I was about to say a main event at WrestleMania.
It's one of those hypes, though, wasn't
commentators. Oh, it fucking did my head in. And do you know what? Congratulations, WWE. In a month, within the space of a month, you've made Daniel Bryan just feel like one of the boys.
Yeah.
So,
I can't agree with that.
Mind you, it's not as bad as fucking Raw. They took 2 weeks to just make Bobby Lashley just a guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like if I was a WWE superstar. I just want to stay in NXT forever. And then if they were just sort of like, right, you've either got to go to the main roster or we're going to release you, I'd just be like, get me to fucking New Japan.
Please release me, let me go.
Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, the match wasn't anything. I feel like it went too long. They should have gone with my fucking storyline. Have Nia squash Alexa within 2 minutes and then have her be the mystery partner for Braun. They should have done that. It was certainly better than what they fucking did, which I'll come on to it in a second. The biggest disappointment for me, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. I'm not the only one that thinks that.
Do you know what? It was almost as if they'd structured the match to go like 35, 40 minutes. And like literally it was sort of like the match itself was like the beginning stages of a New Japan match. And then literally like the finish comes out of nowhere. AJ hits the Styles Clash and gets the pin. And you're just sort of like, sorry, what the fuck? It's almost as if like they planned out a 40 minutes match. And then just before they went out when they went through the curtain, they were just sort of like, "Yeah, your match has been cut in half."
This is it. I mean, I'm not the only one who thought this at at your house, was it, Coxie? But I said that this match wasn't even phoned in; it was faxed in.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't feel like it was at any effort points at all.
I mean, when you build it up for so long as being a dream match,
yes,
and just the end product that you get. It was so disappointing. And to be honest with you, right, like days before Mania, New Japan put on their official YouTube page the match that they had at that one Wrestle Kingdom before they went to WWE. I'm gonna go and search YouTube at some point in the next couple of days and go watch that match because from what I remember, it was fucking amazing.
Yes, it was.
Cesaro and Sheamus against Braun Strowman and that's that referee's kid. I've got to be honest, right? When I was watching it, I actually found it really funny. And then it was only the realisation of just sort of like, as soon as it happened, I went, wait, hang on a minute. That was shit. And not only have they made sort of like the tag titles look shit, they've also made Cesaro and Sheamus look like a bunch of fucking jobbers.
It's not even that. It's made the entire fucking tag division look like shit. Here you have Braun Strowman, granted, he's one guy who has been beaten by two guys before. Let's not get us wrong. He picks a random child out of the crowd to be his tag team partner. Pins the tag team champions, right? These champions are supposed to be the representation, the best of the best, going into Mania of the Raw tag team division. Therefore, ergo, in storyline, in kayfabe, they are the best tag team that Raw has to offer. No tag team is better than them on the Raw roster going into WrestleMania. And a child beats them. How does that make the rest of the tag division look like?
I think you're giving the tag team titles too much credibility there, man. Maybe. They've been through the ringer that much that sort of like I look back at sort of the tag champions that were around when I was growing up. So like Edge and Christian, the Hardys, the Dudleys, Undertaker and Kane as the Brothers of Destruction. The titles had some prestige there. They wanted to create a moment. And to be honest with you, with the Superstar shake-up, SmackDown's tag division looks so much fucking better than Raw's. Because Raw during the Superstar... I mean, we'll get onto the Superstar shake-up very briefly in a second. But honestly, SmackDown hit the fucking jackpot with the Superstar shake-up.
Yeah.
They really fucking did.
Can't disagree.
And then the shit show that was the main fucking event... Oh my Jesus. Do you know what it honestly was? It's like somebody watched the main event of WrestleMania 29, which, for those of you who aren't historians, was Rock Cena 2. And if you don't remember that match, I can't remember because I refuse to fucking watch it. But I've heard people review the match before, and it's literally 20 odd minutes of them, finisher, hit, kick out, rest. Finisher, kick out, finisher, kick out, finisher, kick out. Like, John Cena kicked out of like 4 rock bottoms in that match. Roman Reigns kicked out of 4 F5s. 4 fucking F5s.
It took 3 to get the Undertaker down.
He took a 5th one through the fucking announce table, and then sort of like, Lesnar fucking hard way cut him open, which led to me sort of like going mad because he just looked like fucking Gromit in that scene from The Wrong Trousers when he gets the fucking spoonful of jam smashed into his face. Believe me, there were memes about. So Roman was a big bloody crimson mess, and finally, after a 6th F5, Lesnar pinned him. It's like, you've spent all this time trying to build up Roman. This is the 3rd fucking year in a row that you've tried fucking crowning Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania as the big top guy, the big dog. And he just fucking he got beat.
Sorry.
Oh, hey. We interrupt this podcast for this week's episode of The Bill.
I've just stepped on my son's toy.
The Casa has been raided.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Who could possibly give a fucking shit about Roman Reigns now?
He's a chump.
Who could really care? And even then, the fucking Raw after Mania, he comes out and sort of like, he's doing he's going down the Vince Russo route. Oh, the people in the back, they're giving me all shifty looks. It wasn't part of the script. Oh, fuck off, will you? And then fucking Samoa Joe makes his return and then just fucking shits all over him. Just like, oh, conspiracy theorist Roman. The only fact is, you're a fucking failure. And he is! He's fucking right. He's a fucking failure. So, yeah. If you haven't watched WrestleMania, watch up to the mixed tag match and then fucking eject. Quit out of it. Run for the fucking hills. Don't watch the second half of WrestleMania.
Yeah,
like literally.
Watch it up to a certain point and then just fucking turn it off. I mean, when did I say this?
Run to the hills.
Yeah, run to the hills. After the Alexa Bliss Nia Jax match, turn it off. Just turn it off. Then just listen to Mine Cox's and Bunkle's commentary on it. It'd be more entertaining, trust me.
So, I mean, yeah, that was WrestleMania.
Yeah.
No, big shock horror. Takeover was better.
Yeah, it was. Coxie, what are your thoughts thinking about it 2 weeks after now? Are your opinions still the same, or...?
To a degree, yeah. I mean, it's like you said. It was the first half was all right. The second half just was like a shit show. It just wasn't good. Like the tag match thing pissed me off. Of like, here's Braun Strowman wandering the crowds for 5 minutes looking for someone.
Do you know what was really great as well is he walked past like a load of like NXT people. I know that because fucking Bobby Fish was there standing up with his crutches.
We saw we pointed out No Way Jose at one point.
Yeah, he was there.
Proud. But I'm not sure if they were doing that to possibly try and throw people off. And it's like, it's that thing. What was it somewhere? It's like, so they're walking along. And they're walking along. And they're still walking.
If I could walk 1,000 miles.
Like a Benny Hill sketch.
walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who gets these hands and picks a boy up off the floor. Yeah.
Oh, here's something I want to ask you though. Which was better, this year's Mania or last year's Mania?
Oh,
Overall, I'd say this year's Mania was better.
Because it had more than one match, which was actually good.
Yes.
This year's WrestleMania was better by a mile, but that's not saying a lot. Because last year's Mania was dog shit.
Yes.
Absolute dog shit. The main thing I was glad about was I wasn't sat on a pub floor watching it this year.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the Nicholas thing, though, is like Twitter and Facebook for me is lit up with like, who is this Nicholas kid? And then people chiming in going, oh yeah, it's some Make-A-Wish kid, apparently. And then it's like, oh, this happened. And I'm on Twitter looking through, and some like meme thing posted of like, Tyler Bate, I'm like the youngest ever person to hold a championship, won the UK title when I was like 19. And it says, Nicholas, hold my milk.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've seen that.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
There was also that, and what somebody edited for the Raw tag titles for the Wikipedia page, which was current champions Braun Strowman and some kid that Braun Strowman stole.
Yeah. I saw that myself. I'm going to try and quickly move this on. So, Coxie, obviously we gave scores out of 10. What would you say now, thinking back 2 weeks after? What would you give it? Would you still give it the same, or a different score?
No, I'd keep it the same. In terms of, I can't remember what actually rating I gave it.
Well, I think I said up to and including the Alexa Bliss match, I would give WrestleMania an 8 out of 10 because it was really good. I enjoyed it. After that, it was absolute dog shit, so I think I gave it a 5 overall. I don't think I would change it because the part of the card that you're meant to remember the most is the latter part. You know, the matches later in the card, in years to come.
You'd think so.
Because you tend to put your bigger matches towards the end. The problem with that is the latter end of this fucking pay-per-view was utter shite. So the things that you're going to remember from this show are going to be the shit shows, like the Braun Strowman fucking stealing a child, the Roman Reigns match. You know, all that shit is what you're going to be remembering. And
it's going to be next year of like, oh, let's take a look back at last year's WrestleMania when this happened, and it's going to fun on the fucking highlight the Nicholas thing. Everyone's going to go, oh, for fuck's sake, not again this year.
Yeah, fuck that shit. This time we're actually going to pick 2 kids to actually wrestle as a tag team this next year. They'll step it up. There'll be 2 children. It'll be Nicholas and his little brother, who's just come out of nappies.
I was thinking they might stop in Mexico and just pick up like a midget in a bull uniform.
Oh, fuck that shit.
At least the bull can work.
So yeah, Lewis, because you've not given it a score. What would you give it out of 10?
Well, first half I'd say a 7. Second half would be a 3. So I'm going to average out and say it's a 4 out of 10. Oh, okay. Just because that second half was just so dire. I mean, like, yes, literally just thinking about it while you guys were chatting away about, like, scores, like, I'd give last year's, like, a 3 out of 10, because the only real standout moments were Goldberg, Lesnar, and the Hardys returning. Other than that, it was either very average or just didn't care.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd say that's fair. And speaking of scores, we obviously had a little bit of a predictions competition.
Yeah, I've been wanting to hear about this.
Yeah, we had a predictions competition. Now, just going to put the light on because I can't see. Neither of us did all that well.
Well, no.
In last place, with 3 points, was Coxie.
Oh, Jesus.
He got the Strowman match right. He predicted Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey to win. And he
that was easy.
Taker to win, but he put Badass Taker. He only got 3 points. In 4th place is our resident Genk.
Ha!
James managed to get 5 points.
Jesus.
He predicted Alexander to win the Cruiserweight Championship, Strowman to win, Rollins to win. We scored 2 points for that. And Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle to win. He put no match for Taker.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
Yeah, so we didn't get a point. Just for the record, we all picked Reigns to win, so we all didn't score any points on that match.
He fucking fought.
In third place on the podium, it's Alan.
Ah. Oh.
Alan scored 7 points. He got he got Cedric Alexander correct. He got Braun Strowman correct. He got Nia Jax correct. He got the Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon match correct. He got the Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle match correct, and he got the Taker match correct with the Dead Man gimmick.
Ooh.
So he got 7 points.
Paul, this is tense. What was the points between us two before revealing who's won? Say one got X amount of points and the other got X amount of points.
Okay, I can do that.
Just builds up the tension a bit more.
One of us got 8 points.
Ooh, so just narrowly beating out Alan.
One of us also got 8 points.
Oh, Jesus, we tied?
We are tied for first place.
Yeah, Paul, man. Give me a podcast 5.
Podcast 5. Fancy microphone. You got Mahal right, which got you 3 points.
Oh, yeah.
You got Nia Jax correct. You got the Ronda Rousey Kurt Angle match correct. You got Taker with the Dead Man gimmick correct.
Yeah.
So you got less stuff right, but you got more points for it.
Well, I'm more for fucking,
quality over quantity.
Don't hinder gender and always believe that, WWE won't capitalise on, American Badass. Oh, Kid Rock's here. Should we do American Badass? Nah.
Fuck that shit.
Fuck off.
So I got Cedric Alexander correct. I got Braun Strowman correct. I got the Bludgeon Brothers correct. I got Nia Jax correct. I got Ronda Rousey and Angle correct. And I got Taker correct without the badass gimmick, though. And I got AJ Styles correct. I was the only one to predict that one.
Yeah, well.
So, yeah. Joint winners, me and Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our prize is that we can pick a forfeit for, I was going to say pick a forfeit for Darren because he's a little bitch, but given that Coxie only got 3 points, Coxie, Jesus.
He has to agree to this, to be fair.
I'm fit. Yeah, because the thing is, sort of like Coxie will just take it on the chin, whereas Darren will just sort of like hide behind a piece of paper. I think we should come up with a forfeit for being so bad at being able to predict Vince McMahon.
I've got something in mind, but I'll tell you off air. It's nothing bad, don't worry. It's nothing like streaking. That's just normal behaviour.
No. It's something to eat or drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I've got something better than that. I'll tell you later.
Speaking of wrestling, have either of you two watched the Andre the Giant documentary?
No.
I have.
I was going to, but I think I never got round to it.
It's very good.
Okay.
It's very good. Vince McMahon's very good in it. Hulk Hogan's good in it, although he fucking, is Hulk Hogan, so there is a bit of bullshit in there. And at the same time, it's a little bit sad as well. Because, but it really does sort of like give a big insight into sort of like what Andre was like. Because like I only sort of know bits and pieces, but yeah, it's a real big eye opener. And if you haven't watched it, you should check it out.
I think I will. Like I say, I think it's actually on YouTube at the minute, so I'll give it a whirl on there as well. I think I'll give it a watch, and I'll let you guys know what I think. Maybe on our new Patreon service.
Ooh.
Oh, so yes, we are now on Patreon, as well as Coxie. We are also on Patreon. So yeah, head over to, if you want to hear, obviously, special content just for Patreon donors. You'll see like solo shows, special shows, Q&As, reviews, possibly. Whatever you guys want us to do, we can do, as long as it's legal. For a subscription, you can now, listen to exclusive content. I will be working on the first show for the Patreon donors some point next week, so there will be content up there. I'm sure Coxie's working on some content for his Patreon, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, I'm still in the plan stage at the moment, but...
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're getting there. So yeah, like I say, you can donate from $1, which is basically what I've called the tip of the hat, which is, you give us $1 and you're like, thank you, just thanks. For $5 though, you unlock all his special features, such as obviously the special shows that we will be releasing. We've also got a $10 bracket, which gets you to basically to leave us a topic of your choice, and also to join us on the show to talk about it. So yeah.
Paul calls it $10. I call it network special.
Network special, why not?
Just $9.99.
Yeah, I could have called it fucky sucky $10, but maybe not.
Got to keep it PG, mate.
Keep it PG. This show's PG, isn't it? Is it? Fuck. But yeah, if you get yourself over to www.patreon.com/ where is it now? I've written it down. RAD Live Podcast. Donate as much or as little as you want, and we'll be forever grateful. You guys will be helping us keep the lights on, keep the show going, and, you can possibly help us fund, some really shitty food for maybe me or Darren to eat. So.
Or just for you to eat.
Or just for me to eat, because I've got a stomach like iron. I just can't get it past my taste buds sometimes.
And you're not, little bitch.
Speaking of tasting, 1 second. I've got something for the show. 1 second. Oh, let me prepare.
Professionalism. That's Per always from Paul the Hat Guy.
Yes, Paul the Hat Guy. He's back.
I was just saying professionalism as always.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about this. What this show is, uncensored and unplanned and everything and all that jazz. Yeah, I've got something to try for this week. It is a really random-looking drink that I found in Home Bargains for the whole priceless sum of 19 pence. It is called Steelworks Gunner. It is a sparkling blend of natural gingers, and this is the Cola Tonic. So, apparently, it's a great taste and low in sugar. So, I don't know if this is exempt from the new sugar tax. Fuck you. But yeah, apparently it's intriguingly refreshing.
Well, that's a good thing about the sugar tax, is I only drink Pepsi Max, and Pepsi Max doesn't have any sugar in it, so...
Yeah, but see,
it's exempt!
Me and Coxie have already done the migration to sugar-free, so... it does not bother us one bit. So...
Open, I'll be back in one moment. I've got my brother's dog here, it's been a fucking pain in the arse.
I shall postpone the trying of the drink very short for an hour, but I shall read what's on the can.
Beautiful.
We have it's got it's a silver colour. It's got a lion with a pair of hipster glasses on it. and it says on the back of it, it's a sparkling reduced sugar, ginger and cola flavour drink with sugar and sweetener. Lower in sugar, no artificial colours, natural flavours and no preservatives. And the main ingredient is sparkling water. So it's, so it's something like this flavour. There is some text on it somewhere which I'm looking for. There we go. So it says, we felt that soft drinks had lost a little bit of their pizzazz. So we created Gunner, a new drink that brings back true character and style. This delicious recipe was inspired by our visit to Cape Town. So the recipe's got history in South Africa. Where
I am not a racist.
Where Steelworks is famed for its uniquely refreshing taste. We have no idea why they called it Steelworks or why it's so intense and refreshing. It just is. Now, is this just a really dodgy, rip-off gimmick of Iron Brew calling it Steelworks?
Well, the fact that it says tonic in the word, and the fact that, I think tonic water is like the spawn of Satan, it doesn't sound that great.
Well, this is it. I mean, I quite like sort of weird random shit like tonic water. I'm the type of person that could just chug a bottle of bitter lemon, things like that.
Well, you're fucking weird, mate.
I am weird. I'm the fucking dickhead that agrees to try all this stupid shit.
Well,
that apart from the last time where everyone did. But yeah, have we got a Coxie back yet, or is the dog still fucking around? He's gone. The dog's still fucking around. So
dog's still fucking with him.
Yep. Tell you what we'll do. We'll pause that for a minute. We'll talk something very quickly. Thoughts on Bobby Lashley coming back to the WWE, very briefly.
Could see it coming, really.
To be honest with you, Stevie fucking Wonder could see it coming.
Well, yeah. But the simple fact that they brought him back in and he's just basically just a guy within the second week is a bit of a shame. But, I don't really expect anything less from, WWE. To be honest, they seem to be doing a better job of rehabbing Dolph Ziggler than they do of actually making a big deal out of Bobby Lashley.
This is it. I mean, I've seen comparisons of the new Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre figures. People saying it's the new Shawn Michaels and Diesel, but
is it? Fuck.
Is it?
Dolph Ziggler can only wish he was in Shawn Michaels' fucking league. And to compare Drew to fucking Kevin Nash is an insult to me. I'd be fucking
Kevin
insulted.
Nash is good, but
Who better than Kenyon?
Oh, he's back. I mean, we'll just quickly touch you while you're away, mate, on Bobby Lashley coming back to WWE. Now, I obviously said Bobby Lashley is the overly milky brew of the wrestling world. And I'll keep saying it. If someone gives it to you, you won't complain. You'll drink it. You're not necessarily going to enjoy it, though. That is Bobby Lashley to me. And it is no different now he's in WWE. He came out, he killed Elias, and then was he in a 6-man tag?
I just remember the lackluster ovation he received.
Yeah, crickets. Exactly. He got the reaction you give to somebody when someone gives you a mulky brew. You're like, yay, thank you.
The announcing ones for a PCW show, like someone had done a match or something. And of course, then all the lights went out and this video popped up and everyone was meant to go, oh yeah, great. And everyone just went, oh. They sort of quickly turned tail and they went, yeah, that probably ain't going to work. So I think they sort of pulled the bucket or whatever on Lashley and then just went, fuck it, we'll get someone else in instead.
Someone who can actually draw. Bobby Lashley is the milky brew. If you see him on a show and he's there, and you're not going to go, oh shit, it's Bobby Lashley. You're going to go, oh look, it's Bobby Lashley. You're not going to go, oh my god, it's Bobby Lashley. You know what I mean? He's just indifferent. He's one of them indifferent wrestlers. He's competent at what he does. He can do a job. You know for a fact you're going to get a match. It's not going to be a good match. It's not going to be a bad match. You're just going to get a match. And that's why I sum up Bobby Lashley. He's just there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I think that's what he's going to do in WWE. He's not going to be in the main event. I'm telling you now.
No.
Charisma vacuum. He's not going to be in the main event. I mean, someone, I don't know who it was that predicted him to be in the main event with Brock Lesnar next year at WrestleMania. Like, you are fucking dreaming.
That's what they all thought, sort of like, they've both got MMA backgrounds, and all this rigmarole, and they're not even fucking going there, so...
Well, how over does it put TNA in this respect? Fucking hell, he was their champion. You know what I mean? He's fucking stupid.
Well, so was Drew. So was Matt Hardy.
Well, okay, fair play.
And that's not a knock on Drew, it's just sort of like, you think of all the former TNA stars that are in WWE now at the moment.
Fucking Ken Anderson was a champion at one point, wasn't he? Yeah, there you go then.
No. Oh, God.
With TNA,
next you're going to tell me fucking Vince Russo was the champion.
With TNA, you don't go through the list of who wasn't the champ. Well, who was the champion? You go through the list of who wasn't.
Well, this is true. This is true. But yeah, back to this pop that I've got. Yeah, Coxie, just for the benefit of those without headphones in when you was doing that, just quickly reading on the back, it says, "We felt the soft drinks had lost their pizzazz, so we created Gunner, a new drink that brings back a true character and style. This delicious recipe was inspired by our visit to Cape Town, where Steelworks is famed for its uniquely refreshing taste. We have no idea why they call it Steelworks or why it is so intensely refreshing. It just is." It's the Bobby Lashley drinks, isn't it?
I guarantee that that's a fucking lie.
I'm a little bit scared on this one. Are you telling me you combine flavours? Not for one instant do I think, do you know what would be a good combination? Ginger and fucking cola. Now, I'm not a massive fan of ginger.
Yeah, but all the Pepsi.
Sorry, mate. I've not tried it. Ginger Pepsi.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I've not tried it yet, but I tried Coke with orange, which is bloody awful.
There's a Diet Coke with peach now, which looks intriguing.
Diet Coke peach? No, it's Diet Coke mango and Coke Zero peach.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, I do want to try that to see what it's like. I might do it on Patreon maybe. But yeah, Steelworks Gunner. Just going to open the can up. Obviously, this is going to be fizzy.
He says.
Oh, it smells like. Tell you what, it does fucking smell like, and that's intriguing. You ever had them cheap? Not even cheap, really. You know the Jack Daniels and Coke cans that you can get. The full fat ones.
Mm-hmm.
You ever had them?
Yes.
When you smell them, it's got that really cheap cola smell to it, hasn't it?
Yeah,
but it's got a hint of something else in the background. It smells very, very vaguely of that. So it could be. I don't know. It's not an unpleasant smell. I'll be honest with you. I could actually sit here and smell it for quite a while. But I'm going to give it a try. So it's past the first test anyway. It's definitely carbonated. So, bottoms up.
I've got my pants on though.
Different. That's weird. Oh, that's very weird. Oh. Now, you get the nice, pleasant cola taste to begin with. It's not the best Coke in the world. It's like Panda Pop Cola. There you go. You've ever had Panda Pop Cola flavour?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that, basically. It's Panda Pops. But you drink and you think, this tastes like Panda Pop. And all of a sudden it goes dead dry at the back of your throat and starts like a gingery, burny sort of sensation.
Sounds lovely.
Oh, it's weird. See, I was partying for a split second there, and then I was like, oh God. So I'm just going to give it another swig, see if it's, and a proper swig that time. Oh yeah. Oh, that's it. The sensation like happens about halfway around the back of your tongue, and goes right back through your tonsils and down your throat. The burning sensation. You know, like the fiery ginger.
Yeah.
So it's not deeply unpleasant. I won't be drinking any more of it.
Didn't think you would.
It's not. I'm not a fan of ginger, if I'm honest. It's not deeply unpleasant. It's not. It's probably of the things that I don't like. It's probably the most pleasant that I've tried on this show. If you like ginger, I think you'd be partying with that. If I'm really honest, I think it'd be all right. If you like ginger, I'd say go for it. Give it a try. You know, because obviously if you like ginger, you know the sort of like the gingery, fiery sensation that you have. It does last for a while. Actually, it's still going. It's not bad. I'll be honest with you, it's not bad. Shut up.
Stop stepping on your bloody son's toys, you dick.
Third one would be fucking bust by the morning. But yeah, if you like gingery stuff, I'd say go for it. I mean, I'm not a fan of gingery stuff. I can't really fault it. So yeah, it's one of those. Give it a try. 19p, you can't go wrong. There's also a lemonade flavour, which is ginger and lemonade, effectively, I think. So, you know.
Of course you can go wrong. You're drinking something with ginger in it.
Well, there you go. Well, for me, anyway. Don't know, Coxie, do you like ginger?
Yeah, but I quite like the odd Jack and Ginger every now and then, you know.
Yeah. We'll give it a whirl. Give it a whirl, mate. Go, next time you're in own bargain, you see Gunner, give it a try. Let us know what you think. In fact, do it for a taste test on Lost Art.
In the immortal words of Admiral Akbar, it's a trap! Don't do it!
And that amazing piece of advice, we'll go for a very quick break, and we'll be back after these very, very short messages. When I can hit the play button. There you go.
Hey, this is Coxie, reminding you to check out the Lost Art of Podcasting. We cover reviews, interviews, listener topics, our own topics. We even take a general look at life and the world around us. So I'll find the Lost Art Podcasting on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, even YouTube, and all of the good podcast places.
Hello, this is for...
Can't we say hello at the same time?
Fuck's sake. Hello! This is an advertisement for Master Debaters.
Oh, can we say Master Debaters together as well? Yeah?
Hello! I am Michael.
I'm Sean. I'm Toffer.
And we are the Master Debaters.
Oh, we wanted to say that we are the Master Debaters. That's what we want to do.
We're all saying it.
Yeah.
Hello! I'm Michael.
I'm Sean. I'm Toffer. And
we are the
Damn it, Sean!
Debaters.
I thought we were just doing...
Hello! I'm Michael.
I'm Sean. I'm Toffer.
We are...
the Master Debaters. You can find us on Twitter @_Master Debaters, SoundCloud, Podbean, and iTunes. Just do yourself a favour and jump aboard this podcast train. Choo choo, motherfucker!
It's a mum.
Hello, Mum.
And a daughter.
Hello, Stacey.
Just telling it like they think they oughta.
I'd love to meet a pirate.
Rough giraffe. Rough giraffe.
Melodic sound of the flute.
They'll make you pee your pants when you laugh.
Wet and maggoty.
Funny chat.
Comedy bronze.
Sketchy facts.
Dog monk.
And advice from a very wonky cat.
Kipper.
Rough giraffe.
Sometimes sober.
Rough giraffe.
Cheese maggot.
On Podbean and Apple Podcasts.
It's not like they don't know what they're getting.
If you like hilarious chat and poorly researched facts, then Rough Giraffe is for you. You can follow us on Twitter @RoughGiraffePod or find us on Facebook. You can download and subscribe to the show on your favourite podcatcher.
Thank you for listening to the RAD podcast. If you really enjoy this podcast, please consider supporting us by going to the RAD Live Facebook page at www.facebook.com/UK RAD Live. You can also find us on Twitter. Our handle is @UK RAD Podcast. You can find this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and many other good podcast apps and websites. And while you're supporting us, consider supporting our friends at the Lost Art of Podcasting. You can find them also on Facebook by going to the www.facebook.com/Lost Art of Podcasting. They are also on Twitter and have a handle at Lost Art Podcast. They are also on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and many other good podcast apps. Same also for his spin-off show, The Lost Art of Wrestling. They are also on Facebook at Lost Art Podcast, and also on Twitter with their handle at LAOW Podcast. Friends of the show, These People Podcast, great little show. Give them a like, give them a subscribe. You can find them at Facebook at www.facebook.com/These People Podcast. They are also on Twitter at TPPod. They also have a website at www.thesepeoplepodcast.com, and you can find them on Spreaker, iTunes, and many other good apps. Also, while you're at it, Casa Mirth Podcast. Cracking show if you don't mind a little bit more of the risque side of things. They are also have a website of their own as well at www.casamirth.com. They are on Twitter at Casamirth, and also find them on Facebook. They are also available on iTunes, Stitcher, and all other good pod sort of apps out there. And Mooch TV, friends of the show as well. They are on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Mooch TV. But you can also find them on YouTube at www.youtube.com/Mooch TV. And if you're ever in Blackpool, in the season, might add, because it's now closed, you can go to Reflex, the only bar in Blackpool that has 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s and noughties music, also accompanied with great food upstairs in the family bar. So if you're in Blackpool and you enjoy, great food, great music and a great time, why don't you consider checking out the Reflex at the Foxhole. Now it's back to the RAD Live podcast. And we're back. We are back. So, very quickly, we've got a couple more things we want to talk about in the sort of wrestling world, and then we'll move very, very quickly on. First things first, Coxie, you brought something up in the advert break.
Yes, I did.
You did.
The sticking with the wrestling theme, it's the noted what's the word? Breakup.
The breakup, yes.
The breakup of John Cena and whichever one the bell is that he's banging.
You didn't see that coming.
Nikki, that one.
Yeah, we didn't see that coming from a mile away, did we really? Come on. But tis. Hang on, where's my sound effect? Hang on a minute, there you go.
You done fucked up now!
But more that thing of like...
Yeah, you done fucked up.
She's I'm gonna get married, and he's like, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids.
Yeah, I've seen a thought that as well when in his own head, when his own ego, he said that again, didn't he?
You done fucked up now.
Yeah, but it's that thing of like, well, why did the big proposal at Mania last year?
Because they had to have that big WrestleMania moment.
They've both had.
So go on, mate.
They've had the Mania moments. They don't need more. Yeah.
Because his ego is as big as her fucking tits.
That's pretty fucking big.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. As I noticed, to fall off the air, then like I read something before about a supposed 75-page contract he made to sign. Basically stating that things like if they're ever to split up or anything, she'll vacate the property as soon as possible, and also take all the belongings with her as soon as possible.
He just wants to make himself out to be the most unlikable wanker ever. I mean, this is supposed to be someone that you supposedly, potentially, could be spending the rest of your life with. And you basically... I don't like it. I don't really have words for it. I just think it's fucking shady. Why can't you just go by trust? You know what I mean? Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Because in this day and age, people can't be normal.
Well, to be fair, they're far from fucking normal, are they? So.
Well, exactly. I was about to say, what did you fucking expect?
Well, this is it.
Like, say it was, he got shafted or something with his ex-wife or something.
Yeah, surely that was the big indicator that, you know, despite there being a proposal, it wasn't going to be a good idea.
Well,
He said it.
Once.
Yeah, that's why he set up this whole contract thing, and then even apparently like told Bella's told Eve, whatever, he's saying to her sister, she's like, "Yeah, I'm dubious about signing it because it sounds really shady." It's like, well, yeah, it fucking is.
I love the fact that we keep talking about contracts. Why do I just expect it to just be, I'm going to write this contract, and then I'm going to stick it in a briefcase, and then we're going to hang it 15 feet above a ring. And the only way to grab it.
Have you seen the memes with Dolph Ziggler running in with the fucking Money in the Bank briefcase?
Yes.
Part it was she apparently like felt was also shady was the fact that she was basically just a guest in his house.
Well, she fucking was. Until she marries him.
Apparently, she was like looking at it as if it's like to say, well, like, oh, so I'm just a guest in his. If I'm a guest in his house, or whatever, then what's that say about our relationship, and what does that say about, like, us? Like, must he? Like the way she was, it was something like, must he? Like, is he always going to see me as a guest, or whatever, in his life and all this sort of thing? And it's like, do I want to be with someone like that? It's like, well, no, you don't.
No, but the thing is, though, she must have known what he was like. I mean, he's been with her, what, 6 fucking years? I'm assuming it was her that did the breaking up.
This is where it gets dubious, because I'm reading conflicting things.
Yeah, I heard as well, like, both parties are saying it was the other one that broke off the relationship.
So it doesn't sound very amicable, this.
No. Mind you, I wouldn't expect anything anything different, to be honest. I mean, if it were Daniel Bryan and Brie, then, you know, there would be some sense of...
Oh, shit. Yeah, cause sort of, cause they proper genuinely look like they're into each other.
Yeah. And, you know, if anything were to happen, you'd expect it to be done in sort of like a very calm, very private, but also sort of like, you know, consensus, concise manner. Whereas this is just sort of like, you know, well, she was the one that did breaking up. No, he was. No, she was. No, he was. And oh,
it's very school playground, isn't it? It seems.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah. Well, here's a question for you then. Attached to that, what do you think Nikki Bella's future is going to be in the WWE now? Do you think it's going to be affected?
Does anybody read? I mean, you know, I do feel a bit sorry for the girl because, you know, it's a relationship ending of, you know, 6 years. I mean, I was in like a 2-year relationship, and I remember when that broke down. I mean, it was fucking hard for me, so I can't imagine what it would be like for her after 6 years. But to be honest with you, does anyone really care?
Well, it's that thing they've got to work together as well still.
Oh, that'll be... Well, I could fucking tell you, you know, you never mix business with pleasure. Because it always fucking ends... But if it ends badly.
Yeah, I can been there and done that, as been recorded. Like I said, I ended up, you know, mixing work with pleasure once, many moons ago, and yeah, it went messy. So, one rule of thumb for all you single blokes out there, Lewis, that's you. Don't mix work with pleasure. It's messy, and Lewis already knows this.
Mate, you don't have to tell me. I've done. If I didn't learn the first time, I learnt the second.
You're worse than me.
Exactly. I was young and stupid, and, you know, just in desperate need to get laid.
You're just still young. You just got the young bit now. You just learned very early.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just more than once.
I couldn't help it, mate. She had amazing tits.
When you go to penis mode, that kind of happens. Where it is.
When the blood
Where it is.
when the blood starts going elsewhere, that's when you know you're in trouble.
When the dick gets tough. The brain goes to mush.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, personally, I can see her leaving and doing things outside of the business. It's gonna, I'll be honest with you, it's gonna be a little bit awkward. I mean, one of the top guys, you know, she's one of the top girls, you know, you expect them to do all the PR stuff and all that lot. It's gonna be a wee bit awkward, and I can't see, the way the reaction seems to be online, I can't see her wanting to be in that environment where she's surrounded by it effectively.
No, I couldn't.
So I can see her going somewhere doing, like, you know, fucking more shows for E, presenting maybe, things like that. I think she could do that, but
and the whole world rejoices.
Yeah.
Rather sarcastically.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, I don't wish any ill on the girl, but I'll be glad when she's not wrestling anymore. I really will be.
She's a lot like Linda McMahon. God bless her, but she isn't a performer.
Yeah, agreed. Same with her sister, Nikki, but at least she's got a little bit more talent in the ring, but that's not saying a lot.
At least with Brie, sort of like, you know, I think there's a reason. I think there's a reason why she's with Daniel. Well,
Yeah.
like Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson or whatever you want to call him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they've actually got together because they like each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they've got stuff in common.
Yeah. So, yeah, they look like an actual happy couple. So, you know, I can see them going old, which I hope so. I hope they do.
His house.
Yeah, his own house. He won't be seeing us anymore because he'll fuck them all off now, won't he? More WWE. We'll just move on. Unless, Coxie, you want anything else to add?
Nope.
Right. There's a new DVD coming out.
Is there?
There is a new WWE DVD being released, and it is called the WWE Evolution of the Women's Division.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. Apparently, WWE have snubbed China and AJ Lee from the cover.
Of course they have.
Yeah. They're not on the cover of the upcoming DVD.
Is the Fabulous Moolah on the cover?
Probably not. I'll have a quick look. I have seen it, and I think I may have saved it. One shall look. Sorry, my brain is farting at this moment in time. Bear with me a second, because Facebook has fucking updated.
Way.
No, I've not saved it. I'll just quickly Google it. But yeah, AJ Lee and China are not on the cover of the DVD. Now, is that considered a snub, or do you think it really means anything, or what? What do you guys think?
I'm surprised AJ is not on it, to be fair. I thought she actually would be, considering the whole...
Well, she was effectively the beginning of the women's revolution, wasn't she?
Yeah, exactly. So I thought she'd be on it. I'm just trying to find the cover now.
For now.
Yeah, AJ Lee was also the one that has noted here who voiced their concerns on Twitter, and the hashtag Give Diva the Chance was born. So, there we go. So, yeah, there's no China and no AJ that I can tell.
I found it now myself. There's no Moolah anyway.
Nope.
So the people on the cover, the female talent that are on the cover are Bailey, going from left to right, we've got Bailey, Natalya, Botcha Banks, Ronda Rousey front and fucking centre. You've got Charlotte Flair, you've got Stephanie McMahon, you've got Nia Jax, Mickie James, who was not part of the women's evolution, let's be fucking honest. Paige. Is that Tamina?
No, it's Trish Stratus.
It is Trish Stratus, I apologise, yes. You've got Asuka, You've got Jacqueline, Lita, Beth Phoenix, Alundra Blaze, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Bella, Brie Bella.
That's a very young. It's a very young Mae Young, I think.
Yes, it is a very young Mae Young. You've got Becky Lynch, and I'm not sure who that is.
Might be Wendy Richter.
Could be.
Might be Wendy. Well, no, actually, do you know who that might be?
Anyway, it's not Fabulous Moolah.
No, it's not Fabulous Moolah.
Yeah, so Moolah's not on there, so they've fucking learned a lesson there. But anyway, do you think it's it means anything at all that they've left them off the DVD cover?
Not really, because to be honest, who buys DVDs anymore?
This is it. I mean, I could see this coming on the network at some point soon anyway. But there's nothing to say they're not on the actual DVDs.
Yeah, it was Wendy. Sorry, mate. It was Wendy. It was Wendy Richter.
So there you go. It was Wendy Richter. But there's nothing to say there that they're not actually on the DVDs.
Well,
no, we'd hear though. Someone's put. They're like, where's Victoria? Where's Melina? Where's Jazz? Molly Holly, Ivory, Michelle McCool, Layla, Kelly, Eve, Candice Michelle, and AJ Lee.
Well, they're going for what's important, but at the moment, it looks like then they've got pretty much all the women that they've got that they give a shit about currently, and all the ones that are either on the Hall of Fame or on the verge of. So, you're going to tell me Kelly's going to be Hall of Fame anytime soon?
Not soon, down the line.
Victoria should be, in my opinion, but I can't see.
Yeah.
I don't think she's on that radar. In that radar, but yeah, I agree. Victoria should be on that. In at least on the DVD box set. Beth Phoenix is already on there. Melina, all she did was shriek. She was drizzling.
No, and she was hated backstage by everybody anyway. So
there you go then. So yeah, Melina, not a fucking sniff. Like I say, for me, until I see what's on synopsis of what's on the DVDs, I'm really going to reserve judgment on that. I mean, yeah, maybe AJ Lee is very fucking important. AJ Lee is very important. She was basically the kickstarter of the women's evolution, so she should be at some point on that DVD cover. But
to be honest with you,
DVD, I don't see a problem.
To be honest with you, if you take out the personal history that she's got with certain people backstage, I'd say Chyna's just as important.
Absolutely, she
first woman to be in the Royal Rumble, first woman to be in the King of the Ring, first ever women's Intercontinental Champion.
Now then, let me just stop you there, because that depends on how you interpret it. Was she wrestling in the women's division or was she wrestling in the men's division?
Well,
it depends on how you interpret it, because this is the evolution of the women's division. It'll be something similar to basically saying this is a DVD based on the Intercontinental Championship. The women's division is solely going for the women's title. So it depends on your viewpoint. In one side of it, one brain is like, yeah, I completely agree with you. It's a female talent doing all this great shit, breaking barriers down, being the first in the Royal Rumble, being in King of the Ring, being the Intercontinental Champion. But she was only actually active in the women's division for like 6 months at the end of her run.
True.
So
I mean, it depends.
It depends on your viewpoint on it.
It depends.
Made of both sides.
It depends whether you're focusing on the division, the women's division as a whole, or the women in the division.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I'd probably say it's the women in the division, but I don't know why I'm arguing about it, because I really don't give a shit, to be honest.
Fair play. What about you, Coxie?
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's on the cover. Like, they're all going to be featured at some point, no doubt.
Yeah, they've been mentioned.
If anything, the ones they feature on the cover are probably the ones that have the bonus matches or whatever on the bloody the third disc or whatever, the bloody set or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, for a fact they won't be featuring the 10 Diva tag matches on Raw, which will last all of 30 seconds just to get women airtime.
Yeah, do you think the Women's Royal Rumble will be on there?
I think it'll get mentioned, but I don't think it'll be on there.
I think you might get a cut down version of it on there.
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly, minus the Sasha Banks air kicks and the fucking Kelly botched up Hurricane Rana, whatever it was the fuck she was trying to do. The spin around thing, whatever the fuck it's called.
Also, Becky Lynch and Carmella pissing about because Carmella couldn't be bothered to take a Exploder suplex. By the way, Carmella is the new SmackDown Women's Champion, so, you know.
Yeah.
Got singles. I find it funny that sort of like they had Carmella beat the woman who beat the streak of Asuka. It's like, you've clearly not thought this through. You've clearly done it for what you like to do is creating moments, not thinking about the bigger picture.
Yeah, bigger picture. I get what you mean.
That was unintentional.
Was it intentional though?
No, that wasn't intentional.
That was intentional. There's one more last bit of wrestling sort of tidbit that I want to put in just before we move on from wrestling, really, because we talked about an hour and a half of wrestling, basically. World of Sport is coming back. Don't know if you two have heard this.
I thought you were waiting for a reaction. I was just sort of like the dead air is just sort of like the reaction of it.
It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, are they really?
Like briefly before, it's like they're doing 5 tapings in May or something.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, they're bringing it back for in air quotations, this time for a full series.
Well, if it was as fucking staged and frigging pantomime themed as the last one was, I'm not going to be interested.
It was so fucking buttly.
It was fucking so cringe-worthy.
It was
because like I have my grandparents like constantly go on about like World of Sport back in the day, and just to sort of like to see this sort of like basically pantomime show. You're told who to cheer and who to boo for. Fuck off.
No.
That's not wrestling. That's fucking Britain's Got Talent with freaking, pantomime baddies.
This is it. I mean, you had, you've got guys in there like Dave Mastiff. You've got guys in there like I'm going back to the one-off show that they did at the Arse End of 2016. You've got guys in there like El Ligero. You've got guys in there like... Oh, who the fuck else was on there? Mostly British guys, anyway, decent guys who can do really good fucking shit. And they were awful in it because of the way it was booked. It was fucking awful. It's not a reflection on them. Their skill set.
Definitely not.
It was the way they had to perform, and it was, like I say, it was so butlins. It was awful. If you were a proper Brit Rest fan and you are a hardcore watching this, you'd have been, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
It was awful. I mean, I thought 5 Star was bad, but at least they tried to put on a proper British wrestling style that is the modern style of British wrestling. Not this bastardized shite that you've got, which was a hybrid between the old school sort of like way they used to do it and the way they're doing it now. 5 Star, credit where credit's due, was trying to do it as it is now, basically, modern British wrestling. It was shit, don't get me wrong, but at least they tried. I
couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, I watched one episode, mate.
I was burnt once by 5 Star, and it just left a very bitter taste in my mouth, and I refused to have anything to do with them.
So World of Sport coming back. Watch it at your own risk. Coxie, are you of the same opinion?
Yeah, I don't care about World of Sport. Shit show.
Yeah, it is a shit show, but it's Butlins. If you want to, honestly, go and watch an all-star match with Dean Allmark and Danny Dynamite, whatever the fuck he's called, and trust me, that'll be a better match.
You can guarantee as well, right? This will be like the very, very, very last bit of wrestling stuff. You can guarantee now with the World of Sport, making a comeback, that WWE are going to step up their development stuff in the UK. Particularly with the UK tournament that they're doing.
Yeah, which is not in Blackpool, which is a shame.
No, it's in the it's Royal Albert Hall, isn't it?
Yeah, which is a fucking great venue, don't get me wrong, but I'm a little bit upset because I wanted to go to the last one and I couldn't get it because fucking Ticket Touter's got it.
Yeah.
So
there's big massive tournament. The winner of that tournament, so it's like a two-day event.
Again.
The winner of the tournament on the first night will face. I'm guessing it'll be Pete Dunne, unless they change the title before it. On the second night, and we're also going to get. It looks like we're going to get Undisputed Era versus British Strong Style.
Oh, I can only get so hard.
I was just sort of like, I'm like, what's the German guy's name from Archer?
Yeah, I can only get so erect.
Yeah. Please, my penis can only get so erect.
Yeah, so, Coxie, is it going to be an everywhere moment, do you think, this?
I reckon it will be. It's going to be interesting to see if they use the same talent from the previous tournament as they bring in new talent.
Are we going to be doing something for this? If
it's airing on the network or whatever live, then I think a viewing party should be in order.
Absolutely.
The greatest Royal Rumble ever is this coming Friday, I think.
Ask me how many fucks I give. Ask me how many fucks I give.
10 fucks.
No fucks.
10.
It's a glorified house show.
10.
And you shouldn't be going there because it's against all their fucking... It's absolutely stupid. We're all about women's rights. We're all about equality. Let's go to a fucking place that's that's notorious for the fucking... I'm trying to get the words out, but I'm getting angry, hat guy. Let's go to a country which is known for basically, not having the best human rights records in the world.
Oh no, their ticket policies are awful for this show.
Oh, it's terrible. You can only get front row if you're family. Women can't buy one on their own, and singles can't go. They have to go to a separate area.
Yeah.
Basically, it's fucking awful. Basically, women can't go unless they're part of a family.
Mm-hmm.
And women can't perform. Which is why there's no women been announced, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, fucking hell.
So
literally just... sorry. So yeah, if you're interested in watching the Greatest Royal Rumble event, it's 5 o'clock UK time on Friday. So you don't have to stay up till silly o'clock to watch it.
See, I will be watching it out of curiosity.
I'll watch it out of curiosity, but literally the shit that was just before I talked. You know Vern Troyer?
Yes.
Mini-Me from Austin Powers?
Don't say he's croaked.
Yes.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Been a fucking rough couple of days for deaths, hasn't it?
Hasn't it? Jesus fucking Christ. What, obviously we're wrestling still. Bruno Sammartino. Then you had Dale Winton. You got Vern Troyer.
Number one, Paul Jones, who's sort of like a big star in like NWA, stuff like that. Yeah, it's been pretty shit.
Fucking rough is what it is. Absolutely fucking rough. It's this time of year, everyone does it. Every year it's the same. This time of year. Bruce Forsyth, fucking Ken Dodd. All this time of year again. Fucking Jim Bowen. Oh, fuck's sake. Maybe he's finally given somebody a speedboat.
Well, just they're coming through the pearly gates. Here's what your life could have been.
Can you imagine if he was at the pearly gates and the is it God? This is what you could have won. He puts up the pearly gates in this thing. You go to fucking hell. See you later.
He gets Bully to pull the lever that sends you to hell.
No, Jim. Show me.
As he's sliding down, it's got the really sad Bully music.
It's a bullseye!
So, Jim, afterlife you want. Oh, spelling you've got. Now, Jim, come here, boys, come here. Now, Jim, can you spell Evan? Right, hold on. Let me think a minute, God. No. No, you've actually spelled even. We're looking at the word we're looking for is Evan. Let's have a look at what you could have won.
That shouldn't have been that. It shouldn't have been that funny, but it was.
Yeah,
that should be the title for the episode. We're all going to hell.
Yes, there you go.
For those of you who don't know, sort of like before we set up, Paul just sort of like in making the recording files always goes sort of like episode whatever it was. So this one's episode 45. So we always try to think up of episode titles, and I always say, well, wait until sort of like we're recording the show, and then if anything sort of pops up out of mind, we'll make an episode title out of that. Hence what we've just done.
Oh, this is what you could have won. That could have been the title.
Nah, we're all going to hell's a bit more appropriate because, you know, we're laughing about the deceased.
This is true. Sorry, Jim, we love you really, mate. Fucking hellfire. Yeah, it does suck though. Every year it's the same. How many is that? It's brown bread now. Is it 7?
Oh God, I don't. Let me have a look at the fucking. I realise it's a depressing thing to fucking look up, but celebrity deaths in
Cliff Richards must be shitting
2018. Let's see.
Is there any celebrity over the age of 60 must be shitting themselves at this time of year?
Well, I'd say fucking young ones as well, because you had fucking Avicii.
Yeah.
Avicii pop his clog, because he was only 28. Dilwinton.
Not that I know who he is, but fuck, 28's not the age to die, is it? Come on.
Former US First Lady Barbara Bush.
Oh God, yeah, her and all.
Yeah, but she was 90. She was 92 though.
You're fair game at 92. Let's be honest.
Mm.
Say that. Stanley will be next.
Yeah,
I
think he will be.
Oh Christ!
Vader's not well again either as well, is he? He's back in with pneumonia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking pneumonia killed my dad, so.
Fucking Ali I just can't even pronounce his fucking surname, but you know the fucking drill sergeant for Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, he's died as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I put on Facebook. He's drilling somebody. He's drilling Private Pile again in heaven now, isn't he?
Yeah. Fucking Eric Bristow, Ray Wilkins. That's like so. All of those have pretty much been in the month of April.
Yeah, April can fuck off.
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts?
April's the major malfunction.
Fucking hell.
This fucking month.
I mean, like I'm looking at the other fucking deaths from this year's. Like you got Jim Bowen, as we said, fucking Stephen Hawking, Ken Dodd,
it's ridiculous.
David Astore, the fucking Fiorentina football captain, and he died 31.
Yeah.
Fucking Emma Chambers, fucking Alice in the Vicar of Dibley.
Oh shit, yeah. Thing is, though, it's bad because there's that many you forget about them. Bruce Forsyth.
Fucking John Mahoney from fucking Frasier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't listen to this episode if you're depressed, kids.
Yeah, it's mad. I mean, there's that many. You forget about them.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Really bad.
April's been a shit month. See what it's not been a shit month for though? Weather.
Oh, that just sounds like a fucking really.
Forced segue. Yes,
really.
It is.
Really bad segue, unless sort of like be a bad way to announce it on the news, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
All those deaths. Tell you what hasn't been down, though, the weather. We're going to go find that out now with Paul. Oh!
that segue was all, shoved in there with all the grace of an elephant trying to shag a fucking puppy, wasn't it? But,
certainly do paint a picture.
Yeah, certainly do paint a picture. It's got sunshine on it. Yeah, it's been really, really weirdly warm, hasn't it? Past couple of days. Actually had a barbecue and didn't die. I normally, when I have a barbecue, I normally, smoke, die from smoke inhalation. I'm not one of them idiots that stands over the top of it. Cook me face while I'm at it. But yeah, it's been a weird one, hasn't it? I mean, what have you two been up to watch with the weather? I mean, obviously, you're going out, sitting out, beer garden, whatever.
Not really. I mean, sort of like the good weather only started for me on, what was it, Monday, Tuesday? No.
Well, about the same here, wasn't it, Cox, in Monday, Tuesday? Might even be Wednesday, actually, thinking about it.
I think it was Wednesday, because it was sometime in the middle of the week anyway. But then, literally I've had like past 2 days, not a cloud in the sky, sun's out, weather's quite warm. What have I been done? Stuck in fucking work. Cracking.
No.
To
Awesome.
be fair, I've had the last 2 days off, so I've been able to use it.
Yeah.
Sorting the garden out and what have you. I mean, I've planted some bird's eye chilies and some jalapeno chilies in the garden. I've got cucumbers growing now. I've got peppers. Got some strawberries on the go. I've done all that shit. And like I say, I got the barbecue out even. I had a tempting fate with, I was trying, not getting food poisoning. I could have been one of them ones up there.
Well, my next barbecue will probably be at Clan Morrison's, because I think we've planned Maybank holiday, sort of like Alan's got a free house with his little lad Nate. So me, Alan, Matt, and Nate probably just gonna have a lads' weekend.
Good. I mean, Alan, cracking chef.
Mm-hmm.
You're in for a fucking good time there. I'll be honest.
Oh yeah.
You're in for
he owes me a Matt steaks from when we did like a prediction at the Super Bowl. Ewan.
As long as it's not a blowjob included, that's fine.
No.
That's fine.
No, it's just steaks. And given how good Alan can grill, should be all right.
You sounded that with all the conviction, the confidence of, well, no confidence basically.
That wasn't me doubting Alan's ability. It's literally just a case of I'm flagging after sort of like a 12-hour shift in work, and this is usually the time I'd be going to bed. So
fair point. We'll be wrapping up soon anyway, because it's getting towards the mark anyway.
No, it's not even a case of sort of like wrapping up. It's just body clock starting to kick in of, right, come on, should we go to bed now? Yeah. Just like, I don't want to. Not yet, anyway.
I get you, mate, I get you. Coxie, you do out for the... well, you said you were working, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been the same. Like, I've not been able to properly enjoy it or anything. Like, I went to see Andrew WK last night in Manchester. And woke up yesterday and was like, shit, it's on again. So, right, I'm going to wear a t-shirt and shorts to the gig. And luckily, I got to Manchester. It was red hot. I got into the gig. I was sweating my tits off before it even started. Then, luckily, on the way out, it's like, oh, this breeze feels so good.
It's not very off.
Whatever. It's like the 15-minute walk to the car. I was like, I don't regret doing this at all. It's like, this is great. So,
well, they're life decisions that you never regret. They're the best kind.
Yeah, but I've not had a chance to properly sit out and properly enjoy it or anything yet. So,
well, like I say, I got the barbecue out. I got a bit of sunburn on the back of my neck. But other than that, I've been working today, so I've not really been able to enjoy it today. But it's one of them, you take it. So there's been many a time where I've had to, be in, doing a 14-hour shift. It's been blazing fucking sun and it's cracking flags. But this was my time to take advantage of. But right, we don't know when the next time we're going to get weather like this. Get the fucking sausages out. So, but yeah, no shorts for me. I don't do shorts. If you think about it, you've never seen me in shorts apart from playing football. I think I was wearing shorts playing football. Yeah. Reason being, because I got a whopping great big birthmark that goes right down one of my legs. So, don't know. I'm not self-conscious about it now still, but I still am. But hey, fuck it. Coxie, you may be aware of this. Iceland chicken thighs.
I was about to mention that to you, funnily enough.
Yeah, go for it.
They apparently twice as hot as Nando's extra hot sauce, whatever it is.
Which is fucking doddle, might add.
Yeah, right. Well, it's not. It's the 2X, isn't it?
Yeah.
Twice as hot as that, which I've had before, and it was like, yeah, it's all right.
You can feel it, but it's not like the point where it's unedible.
I was a bit when I had it, and people were looking at me just going, "You're fucking mental." I was like, "It's not even that bad."
Yeah, I was the same. You have the people looking at you as, like you're getting the big black bottle, and you're like, you look at it as if you're a fucking madman. You practically blow the dust off the top of the bottle. It's never been touched. It's one of those.
Iceland's claiming it's about just over 500,000 Scovilles. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, just over Scovilles on these chicken thighs or whatever.
Yeah.
About 5,000, so...
I should be able to manage them. But I'm thinking I'm going to get them and do them for a taste test at some point. I don't know if they're limited edition or not, though, Coxie.
I don't think they are, because it's spokesperson for Iceland was like, people keep asking, saying they want stuff hotter.
Yeah.
So made these to try and up the ante to people or whatever.
Basically says, you want them hot? No, you fucking don't.
You want them hot? Okay, but we're going to make you pay for them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be that. I mean, people are going to go, can you cool it down a touch? And they're like, no, this is what you wanted.
This is what you wanted, yeah. Are you not entertained? But yeah, I'm thinking we're going to have to go and try this. At least me and Coxie, I think. Have a go with it. What do you think, mate?
I'm down for that.
I'm fucking right down. Chicken anything I'm down for. So yeah, so we'll give that a whirl one day. We can get our hands on some, and then we'll do it. Absolutely. I mean, I was wanting to do the Morrison's curry, but I think they've stopped doing that now, haven't they? So
I'm not sure.
I'll have to look, see. I'll try and find it. I'm pretty sure they've stopped it. I want to try it, but it's one of those. Coxie, have you got any topics you want to talk about before we wrap up?
I have nothing really to add.
Yeah. What about you, Lewis?
No, not really, mate. I can probably do what I was going to talk about on maybe just sort of like a little separate episode, something like a little bit of bonus content.
Yeah, go for it. If you record it, and I'll whack it up there as a bonus.
Okie dokie.
Why not? So on that note, obviously we're coming up to the 2-hour mark, so we'll start wrapping up. Coxie, give yourself some plugs, mate.
Final Stop Podcasting on Spreaker, Stitcher, all the usual podcast places, along with Facebook, Twitter, Lost Art Podcast, Instagram, Lost Art Podcasting, and also Patreon.
Indeed. Get yourself over there, give them a few quid. Lewis, you got anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I could plug my bathroom plug. You've got the sink in the bathroom that I can plug. It's the kitchen plug as well. But apart from that, no.
Fair dues. As for us, obviously you can find us on Facebook on www.facebook.com/UKRAD podcast. On Twitter, we are at UKRAD podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, YouTube, and all other good podcast catchers. You've obviously heard from our friends at our Lost Art of Podcasting, but don't forget there was also Lost Art of Wrestling, which you can find them on Twitter at LAO. I've got it written down. somewhere. There we go. Facebook.com/LAOW podcast, and the Twitter is at LAOW podcast. Don't forget our friends at Mystery Island, it's like a comic book store sort of thing. You can find them on Facebook on www.facebook.com/back with the number 2, The Island. Our friends at These People Podcast, they have a website, www.thesepeoplepodcast.com. Facebook is facebook.com/These People Podcast. You've got Casa Mirth. Casa Mirth have a website as well, www.casamirth.com, and they are on Facebook at facebook.com/Casa Mirth Podcast. And also, can't not mention Mooch TV. You can find them on at youtube.com/Mooch TV, and they are on facebook.com/Mooch TV UK. And we have to also mention Reflex at the Foxhole. They have 70s, 80s, 90s, and noughties music. Great family bar. You know, usually a decent chef, Alan. And yeah, if you want proof of how good the food is, check out all the pubcasts that we do there. And we, you know, especially the first one where we tried the new menu. Guys, anything else you want to add before we go?
I'm good.
I'm very tired and would like to go to bed, please.
On that note, then, I've been Paul the Hat Guy Flinders. Lewis, it's you.
Oh, is it me? Oh, right. I've been the Scouse one.
I've been the lost one.
He has been the lost one. He was very quiet, but he was the lost one. You have been listening to the RAD Live podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you and good night. Don't forget to leave us reviews wherever you're listening to us from. It'd be great. It'd be appreciated. Thank you and good night.
See you later.